How are you feeling ahead of the Bradford game this weekend?
Yeah, feeling good. Excited. Looking forward to it. Hopefully should be a good crowd there, and just really looking forward to the game.
Is this one of the biggest games that you'll have played in your career so far?
I think it's probably up there, I suppose, when you look at the magnitude of what we can kind of do. But it's no bigger than other games that I've played, and ultimately there's 3 points up for grabs, and it's an opportunity, isn't it? So I'm just excited more than anything else, to be honest.
I mean, you've got 2 chances to get promotion over the line. It'd be great to do it the first opportunity, though, wouldn't it, in front of your own fans?
Yeah, I think you bang on. Obviously, we know what we can achieve if we win the game, and that's what we'll set out to do. But we're just keeping our feet on the ground. To be honest, we've done it for 44 games now. We just take it game by game, and we're not going to start changing things with 2 to go. So we'll just treat it like another game. Prepare for it as we always have, and we'll just try and do our best to win that game.
Talk to us about the kind of mentality going into the Easter weekend, because it couldn't have gone any better, really, when you look back at the 2 games.
Yeah, I think obviously going into the Salford game, we knew if we won, we went back into the automatic positions, and I think we're disappointed after that game, and collectively we came together and we really sort of had the bit between my teeth for the next 2 games, and we knew nothing other than 2 wins was going to be good enough, and we'll back ourselves in every game. We know kind of what quality we've got within the group, and I think we've played really well across both games, and obviously a tough place to go in Tranmere, and then a playoff chasing team in Colchester, and we've produced two really good wins and 2 clean sheets. So it was a really good period.
Look, it's a team game, it's a squad game, but how delighted were you for Luke Molyneux, the hat-trick, the assists and everything else? He's putting up some incredible numbers this season, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been great. He's been excellent all season, and I think obviously the hat-trick was great against Tranmere, but he arguably had a better game against Colchester when he's set 2 up. So I think Mols is someone who looks at a lot of stats and looks at numbers and all them sorts of things. So if it's helping him, which obviously it seems to be doing, then just delighted for him. He's a great kid, someone I get on so well with, and obviously he's got bags and bags of ability. So I just want to keep him going and keep him happy and play him well.
How much have you been grateful for the adaptability that you have within your game in terms of midfield and defence, and how comfortable have you been in filling in that role?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think sometimes it's almost an extra challenge to play a different position, and I feel like them scenarios kind of bring the best out in me. So I've loved having to obviously play at centre half, and I played there a lot of my youth career, and it's something I'm really, really familiar with anyways. Obviously it's kind of a different kettle of fish within the men's game, but when I've played there in terms of positionally and all that sort of stuff, it's kind of second nature anyway, really. But no, I've really enjoyed playing there.
I imagine having Big Tom alongside you does help, though, even though you've got history in that position.
Yeah, it does, definitely does. He's a top player, but he's a top human being as well, and he's one of the best blokes you could meet. So anything I have any problem with, or if we're within the game and things like that, it's he's so easy to speak to, and he motivates you. He's just perfect to play with. He deals with long balls, and he's good on the ball himself, and I think he's been magnificent, and he's been great at play next to, and obviously same goes for Jamie to me right, and obviously Jack Senior as well, who's been fantastic. Them two within the majority of them games were brilliant. Obviously everyone else as well, but just within the back four, and obviously Teddy, the keeper, just being within that unit. It's been really, really good, sort of being part of it and keeping goals out.
Grant was always kind of keen to build a strong squad this season. The squad's obviously been needed. How pleased are you as somebody that's been a leader, skipped the side a number of times, about how everyone stepped up, particularly those that might not have had a lot of game time and then have had to come into the team?
Yeah, over the moon. I think it's sort of taken for granted how hard it can be when you're waiting for your chance, and everyone's fit and the lads are playing well, and you're not really getting a look in. But football changes so fast, and you're only ever an injury away from being in the stand to starting. And the gaffer and all the staff, really hammer that home. And we've got some great lads within the change room. Everyone sort of gets on with it and understands their role, and everyone's always ready when they're needed. And I think that's sort of testament to the squad. How kind of seamless it's been at times when we have had tricky injuries in certain positions and stuff, and how kind of easily we've moved between shapes and personnel. So now I'm just really sort of proud of the lads.
And dealing with suspension as well. Billy Sharp back this weekend. Great to have him back, I imagine, because somebody like him, he's come up with games like this throughout his career. I imagine he's got some real good, useful leadership and experience for an occasion like this.
Yeah, he does. Sharpie was devastated after the game when he got sent off, and he's put a clear kind of thing to make as much of an impact off the pitch as he can. In and around the changing room and with the lads and in training and stuff, and you can tell he's chomping at the bit. And obviously, knowing the kind of bloke Sharpie is, he'd be desperate to play a part on Saturday and try and help the lads as much as he can. And same with the following Saturday. He's just desperate to play, and I'm obviously looking forward to having him back in the squad, because he's, like you said before, he's obviously experience is unbelievable, and his knack of scoring goals and amongst everything else. So it's great to have him back.
I mean, ultimately, you won't really care who gets the goals if you get promoted anyway. But you wouldn't bet against Billy coming up with another moment, would you? Even at towards the end of his career.
No, well, it's big. These big sort of occasions that require sort of big moment players, and Sharpie's definitely one of them. He's scored countless amount of big goals across his career, and it's just another game for him. And I'm sure he'll be desperate to be the man who gets the winner, because obviously all the strikers are always sort of desperate to be the ones who score. But like you said before, if we can sort of get the win, I think everyone will be delighted for whoever scores the goal.
Just finally, Bradford City, Yorkshire derby. Big crowd. The target is well and truly on your backs now as the team in first. Is that something you welcome going into a game like this? Yeah,
I think obviously you'd rather kind of be top of the league and be there to be shot at. I think obviously it'd be a great occasion, and one we're really looking forward to. But like I've said before, it's just another game of football. It sounds cliche. Ultimately, there's 3 points up for grabs. And we've done it all season. We're just preparing for this game as if it's any other one, and that's served us well up to this point. So hopefully it'll do well again.